Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we are joined by a very special guest, current professional hockey player Josh Slegers. Josh most recently played in the Federal Prospects Hockey League with the Blue Ridge Bobcats this season, and even before that, he spent time in the SPHL with Evansville Thunderbolts for a little bit, as well as playing the Ontario Super Hockey League with the Delhi Flames, and over the course of 3 seasons. Before that, he spent 3 years in U Sports with the University of Windsor, and then in the GOJHL and the SOJHL for junior hockey. So I'm really excited to get your story out there and get it going. And I'm really excited to have you on. So welcome to the show, Josh Slegers.
Yeah, pumped to be here. Excited to be on, and let's get this going.
Yeah, absolutely. To start things off, what's like your hockey background? Like when did you start skating? When did you get into hockey? And like what was like your inspiration behind playing the game we all love?
So I think my parents tried to start me when I was 3. My mom's a power skating teacher, so she likes to make the joke that I was skating before I was born because she was always on the ice while she was pregnant with me. But yes, they tried to get me on the ice when I was 3. I didn't have much of a taking for it. I was just laying on the ice, uh, fooling around. But then I would show up to my mom's power skating things, and then all of a sudden, my friends from JK and or my friends from JK were out there. I'm like, why am I not out there? And they are. And then so I was just yeah, my friends were there, so that's what I wanted to do. And then yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm,
basically
I'm
it.
I'm sure you get your good skating from the power skating classes from when you were younger.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely helped. I went through that whole program. Like Canada can skate really well. I did everything, like all the power. There's like 7 levels, and I think I had that done by the time I was 13. Um, and yeah, it definitely helps. So
Yeah, it's always huge. I remember watching you or seeing you like obviously like since we played each other the last games of the regular season, like you're one of the better skaters out there. So it's good that that worked out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I was always a good runner. Like I was like in high school, but like it doesn't like always correlate because
Yeah,
hockey skating is like a whole different animal compared to running. Like that's what everyone says, and like it's obvious. Like if you skated, like if you could walk, you can't really skate, but if you could skate, like it doesn't really. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's just that walking and skating doesn't correlate. It's because you see the noobs always try and go and like I want to skate, and then they
yeah.
fall on their bum. So
Yeah, I get that with the running because I ran in high school and college as well. So like
mm,
I get that, and it's just you're like I just did it just to stay in shape and like just stay in shape for hockey, and it really does help you stay in shape and be able to like last longer for your shifts or for my case in the crease.
yep, exactly, yep.
Yeah, but you're from Simcoe, Ontario, in Canada. So like, what was the youth programs like growing up for you, and just like being able to develop throughout the youth program?
Yeah, it says I'm in Simcoe, but I grew up in Delhi, which is the next town over. It's not really big of a difference, but I want to give my respect to the Delhi people. So I grew up Delhi minor hockey, which was the Delhi Rockets. Right when I was like 8 or 9, like I always wanted to play forward. I was always defense because I was big. I wanted to play forward. My coach would never let me. And then my mom, like her side of the family is like all the hockey side of the family. Like, so my cousins in the city were playing AAA, and then my uncle suggested that to my mom. So it's like the NHL for kids, basically.
Yeah,
So I tried out for that next year, going from double C, which is like the ranking system here, which is pretty low, to
yeah,
AAA. It was a big step. But I was able to make the team my first year, and then which was in Brantford, the closest AAA center was Brantford, which is about 40 minutes away, maybe 30 if you're fast. So we went there, and I basically was Brantford all growing up, like the 99ers, until about Bantam. And then I had to come back because my dad didn't want to waste all the money go traveling there and traveling all around the cities when we weren't such a good team. So we came back home. And yeah, I went for there's one season my minor midget year where I went to Woodstock, which was double A. I forget the reasoning behind that, but yeah. just kind of random.
Hey, that's what it's all about is just having fun, enjoying the game, going to trying the different levels and everything like that, especially when you're younger and when you really get into when you're older and you have to decide where that path's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta go where you can develop. If you're on a team where you're not playing, you're not going to develop, and you're not going to be seen and get noticed. And so,
Yeah, exactly. But like throughout like your youth career, like what are some of like your favorite memories? Because like obviously we're all just having fun when and not really thinking about the big picture where we want to play after.
yep. So probably my favorite ever memory, I think minor Pee Wee, we were nationally ranked. I think we made it to 23rd in all of North America, and we ended up making it to the finals that year. Lost to the London Knights, and they have like quite the minor hockey program there. So that was kind of heartbreaking. But we did some tournaments in the States. I forget where the what city it was, but I think it was maybe upstate New York, but we were playing the first national what was it, first AAA or whatever it is, nationally ranked team, which was the
Yeah.
St. Louis Junior Blues. And I remember we got waxed by them like 6-0 or 6-1 or something like that. So just that whole year, I guess, was something I look back on. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, those are definitely fun times when you're playing top top ranked teams in the world and in the league and like you just learn so much from that and like it's a good experience because you have to be up for the task and it just brings everyone just at a higher level.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just like a random tournament we played them in, so it's kind of like a reality shock because we knew like we were beating every other team in the league pretty well, except for London. So you kind of had to step your game. Like we realized we had to step our game up, obviously, if we want to compete with like the best teams.
Yeah, absolutely. But then you go into junior hockey and then you start in the SOJHL. So like what was it like to get over there and like what was the process like to go from youth hockey to juniors?
It's pretty weird. I tried to like even before that, I tried to try out for juniors when I was like my 15-year-old year, but at the time I was 14 because I have a late birthdays, but I didn't get exceptional status, unfortunately. But yeah, so I was kind of that was a whole thing in itself because I was trying out for a couple of junior B teams, and I went with the one that I thought was going to be the best fit, like the better team. And I was the last cut. Well, I did, I think, two junior C tryouts and then two junior B tryouts, and then I went with the better junior B team that they went to the finals the year before. And I told the junior C teams like, hey, I'm going to the junior B tryouts. Like, I'll be back if like I get cut or whatever. So they held on to me all camp, and then they end up trading their 16-year-old cards away. You get two in that league. They traded those away for two 20-year-old cards because they wanted to go for a run for the Southie. So that's your me because I was like the last cut. And
Yeah.
then I went to go to the junior C teams, and the guys who already got cut from junior B, like first cuts or whatever, they were already back. So they're like, oh, we already signed this guy. I'm like, oh well, fuck. So I really had like my mom really was like didn't want me to play major midget. She wanted me to play junior. So be a bit against bigger stronger guys, obviously. Develop more. So there's this team. I don't know how to explain it. They're new to the league. I think they played 1 year before that. It was a former Port Dover Sailors, and then they're last in the league, and then they became the Norfolk Rebels. And then so the second year is when that was like the only spot I could go basically. So we end up going 0-39-1 on the season. I was rookie of the year that year. So that was pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, quite this it was quite the season. Like every game was like a blowout for the other team. And then the one game we lost in overtime. It was against the top team in all of Junior C, and we were winning the whole game. And they in the third period they came on and pushed it to overtime, and of course they had to win, so they didn't get a dub. But now a lot of like owners with a lot of money around town are like, Port Dover needs a hockey team, so they got bought out, and now they're the Port Dover Sailors again, and they're doing a lot better than when I was there. So
Yeah, that's it's a brutal break, but
Yep.
you're at least you at least got at least something out of it, rookie of the year, and then you're able to develop because you're on such a bad team that you're able to just shine and just develop and get the minutes that you can to help yourself push for the next level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said earlier, just as wherever you can get lots of ice time and develop, it's just get better every day.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's all you can do. But then you went to St. Thomas Stars in the Gouge, and then you went to the Waterloos Siskins as well, and the Elmira Sugar Kings in the next couple years to cap off your junior career. So, were those years like for you, and just like for that development and that learning curve?
Um, Pretty sweet. Like I started off in St. Thomas. They couldn't afford to billet me the first year in that. So I had to travel from here to there, which was like an hour and 15 every day, which was hard, especially
Yeah,
when you're like on the ice every day. So you had to just take off from school. But so the first year was a grind. Second year they could afford to billet me, so I was a victory lap in high school. Met a lot of cool people that way. And Yeah, but the season ended there. Nothing too spectacular with those 2 years. They're just kind of average seasons. But then at the end of the year, St. Thomas, I had like the London Knights, which is kind of like the OHL team.
yeah,
It's like 20, 30 minutes down the road from them. They asked if I would like to practice with them because after our season. And I always wanted to go to school. Like my grandpa, he was an NHLer. He holds like the record for most OHL points in a season. He played in NHL. He scouted in NHL until he died. But he always wanted us to go to school. So I always, anytime like an OHL team came to me, I'd always be like, no, I got to go to school type of thing. Um, so I said no to that. And then St. Thomas had no more money to bill at me the next year. So that kicked off a whole thing where I ended up signing with like the best team. They were back to back champions at this time, the Caledonia Corvairs. Signed with them in the summer. So I was pretty pumped on that. Obviously, like they're defending champs or whatever, but they couldn't build. They thought like it's like 30 minutes down the road, so they thought I was going to be able to travel back and forth. But at this time, I didn't drive, so end up not working out. Needed to bill it, and they wanted to save it for like the guys that came back from the OHL. So then I was free agent again, and I had a bunch of teams, like 3 or 4 teams, offer me spots, like Welland, Kitchener, Waterloo, Siskins, obviously, Brantford 99ers. So I ended up choosing Waterloo Siskins. I just checked out the arenas and the towns and seen what they had to offer. And Kitchener, or not Kitchener, Waterloo seemed like the best fit. Actually lead Junior B with like the most Sutherland Cups ever. So it was kind of like a clear, obvious choice
yeah.
for me, I guess. And then there's 2 universities in town, so that's pretty cool as well. Like being like university age, that's kind of what you're looking for. But yeah, season didn't start off too hot. I think we're around New Year's, we're like ninth in the like which we're last in the conference, anyways. And then we brought a couple guys in, and I don't think after New Year's we lost the game in the regular season. So we climbed up the rankings pretty well. And then we went to playoffs. We beat the best ever junior B team. Like they set a record for I think it was like 50 wins, 1 overtime loss, and 3 losses. And we were able to beat them first round in 5 games, which was pretty sweet. Went to the Cherry Cup, lost in the Cherry Cup, but we barely lost any games. So we also qualified for the Sutherland Cup. And then we played the Caledonia Corvairs, which is the team that I was signed with in the summer. They beat us in 4. They ended up going perfect that year in playoffs, 20-0. And all the guys
Wow.
giving me handshakes were like, "Oh, you could have been here, buddy." And then
Fuck, I
like,
wish I was.
yeah, so my friends in university that played for that team and were my roommates, they said like because I end up winning a study, they're like you could have had 2 studies if you would have stayed that year. But yeah, so that didn't work out. Lost in the study the next year or the following summer. Um, how did this start? Oh, because I kind of asked to trade like to get away from Waterloo when we were ninth around Christmas time, and I don't know, they just like said hang on, like we're gonna be a better team, we're getting a couple guys, so I hung on. But then whatever. So we hung on, we did that run or whatever, and it was a lot better. But in the summer they came to me and they're like, "Are you still looking for a trade? Like, what's the deal?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I plan on staying. Like, we did it a lot better, so I was happy with that." And they're like, "Okay, well, Elmira, they they were really interested in you, and we really need a goalie, and they got a surplus of goalies. Um, so anyways, I heard what like their guys were there, so I heard what they had to say, checked out their arena, and then like I kind of like told them like I thought I always played well in Elmira because they had sick fans, sick arena, and then just like their jersey style, like I don't know there's a lot of fans and like I like the facility, I play better for
Yeah.
some reason. Um, but yeah, so I end up playing there my 20-year-old year. They wanted me as a defense. I was forward at the time. So I kind of did both the Waterloo year, but they're like, we really like you as a defenseman. So I played defense the whole year. And it worked out. Like we were probably like coming into the season, we were like ranked one of the favorites to win, like the whole thing. And we did. So that was pretty good. I was like defenseman of the year. I was a second team all-star in the league. Yeah, we won the championship, obviously. So yeah, that move seemed to pay off for me. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
You got your
then
championship.
yeah, exactly. That's how you want to end your career, and then that led me to university. So yeah, I got the offers that I wanted, and I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, so like you made that transition from forward to defense. Like obviously you were forward, and then you had to step into that defensive role because you were going to do
Yep.
whatever it took. So like, what was that transition like, and how do you think it benefited you for the rest of your career so far up to this point?
Well, my whole career, I've always been back and forth. Like I remember, like I said it originally, I left Delhi because I wanted to be a forward, and my coach kept putting me D because I was tall and I could skate. And then I went to AAA as a forward, and then I played a couple, or how many years? Maybe one or two. And then they're like, "We need you on D. Like you're a great skater. You're tall. You probably get more ice time." I'm like, "Fine." So then I played D that year, and I was always back and forth. And then when junior came, I was always forward um, for like my junior senior, then my 2 years in St. Thomas, and then when I went to Caledonia, I tried out as a defenseman. And then also when I went to Waterloo, I was a defenseman. I said, um, but pretty quickly I was moved up to forward when I was in Waterloo. So then I just stayed forward that whole time. And then, yeah, Elmira wanted me as a defenseman because they said they liked the way I looked there. So I'm like, all right, like whatever. And then even in university, I was always like when I was getting recruited, they asked like what I like better, like for the defenseman. And I'm like, well, I just won defenseman of the year and won a championship, so probably defense. So that's kind of been my story of my career. And then in OUA, like university, like I have two goals in my whole career, and I only have two games played forward. And like obviously, my two games I scored both games, so I yeah, just I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, maybe if you stayed forward, you would have tucked every game that you played.
Yeah, I was on pace for it.
Yeah, but you did end up going to University of Windsor where you spent 3 years there. Like was like obviously you wanted to go to university, you wanted to go to school. So like, what made that decision easy for you to go to University of Windsor?
That's probably like the best offer. Everything I had to do in my career all kind of resulted around money. So they gave me like the best offer compared to like D1 teams and D3 teams. So it's basically where all the OHL guys go to cash in their what is it? They get every year in the OHL you get a year of school paid for. So that's what a lot of like the league is. It's like 95% of those guys, and then
Yeah.
junior B all stars like me. So then I was yeah, it just kind of made sense. I could play against like former OHLers and just keep developing and yeah.
Yeah, former guys that you wanted to play against and everything. So like what was it like going into that first year of U Sports from the GOHL from the Goj when you're playing against these former OHL guys and guys that are stronger and bigger?
Yeah, it was crazy because that like if you look at like the testosterone like range, like you get a peak when you're like 14,
Yeah,
15, 16, but you also get a peak when you're 24, 25, 26. So like the fourth and fifth year guys are just like their testosterone's way up here, then you're
yeah,
like 20 years old and yours is like way down here. And it's just like they're just doing stuff all the time. So you
just
like
pushing you around.
yeah, they're just yeah, it's a learning experience. So yeah, eventually you grow into it. Um but yeah, just learn as you go. Not much you can do otherwise.
Yeah, like how is that balance from from university and like schoolwork and everything to playing hockey there?
It's pretty good. I had a lot of free time, so I spent a lot of time in the gym, which was I don't know, it's kind of a good thing, but also kind of a bad thing because like if I had like a week off, like I'd get like really big, like muscular. So and then I'd get back on the ice and I just notice it. Like I go to like stop, like, I'm going forward and I go to stop and like I had all that extra weight. There's like I
Yeah,
had to hold back kind of thing. So yeah, a lot of time to work out, a lot of time to train, a lot of practice time. But yeah.
yeah, that's huge that you're able to balance that work and everything like that. But like, what are some of like the biggest things you learned about your hockey career throughout that time at university?
Hmm. I don't know. That's a good thing. What about my hockey career? Um, I guess that I just cared like a lot about it. It's probably the only thing I learned about it, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
at
guess.
least you because then you could use that as motivation to go up to the higher levels, which obviously you're doing playing the Fed right now. It's like
Yeah,
that's at least good, and like you're able to develop as well during youth sports, especially because like the OHL guys, and there's always
yeah,
like those ex-pro guys that come back to university as well.
yeah, exactly. I remember there's one guy that came from like the NLL and played for Western. He was like 28 or something. So that was pretty cool. Like I don't know why he decided he wanted to play hockey, but yeah, just unique experiences. And like we always would have exhibition games against like D1 schools. Like I remember going to Harvard or playing Boston College, stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Like they get like way more fans than you do in the OUA or
Yeah.
some teams in the OUA. Like some teams have it pretty good. But yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, so like you develop a lot throughout that time, especially playing against those guys. Like, what was that development period like for you from year one to year three, and then really making that decision to go play in the Ontario Super Hockey League after, and just eventually find yourself in the SP and the Fed?
The development was good. Like I said, I had a lot of time to work out, so I gained a
Yeah,
lot of strength. Like I remember like coming back from like first year going to second year, everyone thought I was on the sauce just because I gained like 10 pounds of muscle, but like your natural testosterone is just going through the roof. So like all the hard work you did when you had low testosterone, like it actually paid off
yeah,
now because now you just gain muscle so easy. But yeah, second year was a pretty good year. We were ranked eighth in the country in OUA, so or CIS, I guess you would say, because there's the East and the West. We played like the top team, which was UMB. I think we ended up losing, and then third year was just kind of a shit show. I wanted to like transfer schools, so I ended up quitting. And then I started trucking and everything, making money that way. So I was gonna make a comeback, like because COVID kind of like shut OUA down.
yeah,
So I was gonna transfer schools, but then there was no season and everything. So then by then I was trucking, I was making a six-figure salary and everything. So by the by the time that hockey came on, like I was training for the summer and whatnot, like, oh, I'm gonna make a comeback, and then I just never did. I'm like, you know what? Like the grass isn't greener on the other side. Like I can make so much money doing trucking,
yeah,
and then so that led me to U Sports. I just met one of my buddies at Fair, which is like a big deal where we live, and he's like, come out for a team or whatever, like senior, and yeah, I just assumed it was like a beer league team. I guess it kind of is kind of like competitive beer league, I guess you could say. But yeah, I was just doing that for fun. First year, I think I only played like 5 games or something. I don't really know, but not many because I was working all the time. And second year, I think I played a lot more. I think I played a lot more, but I was trying to make it a lot more, like because I was starting to have fun, and I was playing like two different other beer leagues as well, so I was on the ice all the time.
Yeah,
And then I think that was kind of is that kind of what got me into playing pro? I think it says I played 3 years of OUA, but or not OUA, U sport or not U sports, senior. But
yeah,
like I only played like the one game senior, just when my hand was broken this year. So it's kind of weird that they mark it as a whole year. But
yeah,
yeah. So I was having fun playing hockey again, and then I saw my one buddy. I was watching like some vlog or whatever on the Evansville Thunderbolts, which was one of like three offers out of university. Um, and I just kind of sent them a snap one night, and then I told him like I was going to make a comeback. Like I sent him like a video of him. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a comeback. He's like, where would you go? And then I'm like, well, I got a offer where you're playing. And then he's like, he just gave me the coach's number. He's like, text them in the morning, and then so I texted him. I'm like, hey, don't know if you remember me, but uh you offered me a spot way back then. Like I never answered him when he texted me because
yeah,
I talked about it with my family and everything beforehand, which was probably a mistake on my part. And then yeah, so he's yeah, get on down here as soon as possible. But I to my fault, I didn't really quit my job right away. I gave it 2 weeks notice. And then yeah, just a bunch of things happened where like I was sick the one weekend, so I didn't get any hockey that weekend. And then there's like playoffs, so my one beer league skate got canceled. So I didn't skate for like a week going in. Uh, yeah, so the 2 weeks ended, and then I finally got shipped down there. Probably should just quit the job as soon as I found out that I could, like, that I had a spot there. So, whatever, you live and learn.
yeah.
um, so yeah, went down there, and it was pretty sweet. So can't complain.
Yeah, that's how the motto goes. You live and you learn. It's life.
Yep.
But
Have it. Yep.
that was seems like a good like a fun story too, because you had to wait 2 weeks before going down. And funny enough, like I was emergency backup the last weekend in Evansville last year. So like that's funny how we both have like Evansville in there.
Mhm.
But like what was it like going from senior into the SPHL and really like that transition between the two leagues?
Um, Definitely a shock. Like it was more like along the lines of like what I would do in like university, because like in senior, like you maybe play 2 games a week,
Yeah,
and then were the weekly practices? Maybe bi-weekly practices. I know the first year there was like one practice a month, which is like nothing. But like when I was like my second year, I was playing senior. I was playing like two different beer leagues, so I was still on the ice like 5 times a week
yeah,
and hitting the gym like 3 to 5 times a week whenever I could, basically. Um, so yeah, that was a big jump. And then SP is like 36th in difficulty. So like I've played at that level before, and just I think getting used to like skating every day, it was a thing, like a whole thing. Like I know my legs were all jacked up, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, but we figured it out now. I don't know if it's because I'm older, I'm not healing as fast as I did when I was like 23.
yeah,
So that was learning that is different.
yeah. That's how I feel every day. Every day I feel like I get older and the body
Mhm.
doesn't heal as it used to when I was 18, 19.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but then you go on to this year where you played in the Fed for the whole year and you or for 36 games with the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Like, what was your time like in Blue Ridge like and just learning the Fed game and getting back into it?
It was pretty good, I guess. You finally play. It was like my first like real season playing pro,
Yeah,
so all the ups and downs, like traveling like 14 hours to Baton Rouge and stuff. Um, Going like yeah, so those were tough or whatever. Like I think my farthest road trip for hockey and OUA was probably like maybe like well, yeah, it'd be 14 hours, but we flew, so I don't know, maybe like a 2 3 hour bus ride. So a 14-hour bus ride was a little crazy, and then trying to get comfortable on the bus and stuff like that, and just getting proper sleep and whatnot. Um, yeah, just learning all that stuff. And yeah, I guess.
Yes. It's like how do you go through that? Like obviously like I know like all the travel and how much the travel sucks and everything, like the uncomfortable that you're on the bus and you're trying to sleep and all that, but like what else do you learn throughout that year to help develop your game for next year?
Um, I guess just I don't know how to word this, but I feel like no, what am I trying to say here? Just having confidence in knowing what you can do, because like
Yeah.
even like those around you, like they always have like their best interest more so than yours or the teams in their head. So they'll be saying something like, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that," when you know that's just not right.
Yeah.
um, so just I guess not listening, but being selective with your hearing, like listening to people who actually have like a benefit of the team in their thought process and helping the team more so than like self reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it and because you just gotta not everything's going to be what you want to hear or be right. It's just what you have to deal with and pick and choose like what you want to listen to, how to get better, and just go in every day and just try to get better at the things that you know that you need to get better at and improve.
Yeah, exactly. That's for sure.
Yeah, but throughout the year, like obviously there's a lot of good barns that like are fun to play in the Fed. Like, what are some of those barns that were fun for you?
Um, I always feel like I played well in Carolina. They always have a packed barn. I mean, it's pretty old. I heard they're getting a new one, but then like if you look like at the niceness, probably like Athens, obviously,
Yeah,
Baton Rouge was sweet. Um, Trying to think of anything else, but yeah, some people draw quite the crowd. I never played in Monroe, but apparently they get a heck of a crowd. So looking forward. Well, I guess. I don't know. The whole league's been redesigned, so I don't know if we'll play them next year. But yeah,
yeah, and like you guys have a pretty good fan base too. Like I enjoyed our when I we got to play there the last weekend of the season. Like the atmosphere is so much fun. Like the fans seem like they're great as well, and just seems like a nice barn to play in as well,
yeah, it's
especially if
kind
you're a
of
home team there.
yeah, it's kind of weird. Like we don't draw the most fans. Like Lino would always say that, but I don't know. Yeah, the atmosphere is kind of it's different there. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like we like I said, we don't get the most fans, but like I feel like we're really loud for like with the fans we did get. And then especially when we did start getting fans like for the playoffs, because it's the first time we ever made playoffs. Like, that was pretty crazy. So yeah, it was definitely cool at the end of the season. But during the season, there's some games like where there's snowstorms
Yeah,
that there's a little snow on the ground, and they're not Canadian, so they don't know how to
yeah,
drive in the snow. But yeah, they just there'd be like it'd be like crickets in the crowd, but you can't have sellout games every game, so I know how it is.
yeah. Just gotta make the most of it whenever you get to play. Like just go off of whatever's given to you.
Yep, if the vibes are good, I'm playing good. So
Yeah, exactly. Me too. But how were those playoff games? Like first time making playoffs for you guys,
mm.
and you guys had a great year as well. So like, what was it like in the playoffs?
Pretty good, I guess. I only played the one game, but it was in Carolina, so we had like our own we had our own section was pretty cool. Like we could hear like they take over the chants, or like they'd start their own chants for like us, obviously, and then Carolina would try to take them over, which was funny. So yeah, it's nice like seeing the support. Like it's only like an hour down the road for those guys, but it's still an hour they have to travel there and back from the fans. And then yeah, just playing in front of that crowd or like a big crowd was sweet. That's what you look for. So that's the time to step up. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I love that, and you could always build off of that for going into next year and everything, and like you know what to expect now. You've been in the playoffs, so you know how to take it up a notch.
Yep, yep. I mean, I've already no, I never had like a problem going up in playoffs. Like I've been to back-to-back series, back-to-back studies, so I've gone like
Yeah,
deep in playoffs. So, and then yeah, it's just a lot of hockey. I remember I think we almost doubled our games played when the one year because we played so many games. It was like so many playoff games. It almost was a whole another season, which was crazy.
yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah. That's a guy you want on your team, a guy that went back to back.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but do you have any tips and advice for like players looking to get to that next level, whether it be to get in the pro ranks, like, or whether it be going into college or juniors?
Just take any top opportunity you can to just get your name out there, whether it's just like a skate, like a summer skate with like a new group of guys or something. Like I realized in pro, it's just all about like who you know and like how you know them type of thing. Like it's just like filling slots. Like maybe they just need like a right shot defenseman, so that's how you get called up or something. They're not really looking at numbers or anything like that. They're just like specifics, I guess. So like getting out there for skates, developing relationships with all these people. I know like my how I got into Blue Ridge was I just went for a skate, like walk on tryouts in Knoxville, and then had a couple opportunities out of that. And then they seemed pretty stoked on me, Knoxville, but of the teams I heard from this season, they weren't one of them, which was weird because they were like, "Well, we're definitely gonna need you. We're definitely gonna need you." And I'm like, all right," and then never
Let
heard
me know
anything.
when.
So
Let me know when.
yeah, yeah, never heard anything from them. So of the teams I heard from, that was kind of a shock, but whatever. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, exactly. It's hockey lit. You live and you learn, but it's like it's good to get out there early. So it's all about like the little details and everything and just treating yourself and acting like a pro every single day when you do get that call up, like you know you'll be ready because you put in like all the practice with the small little details, the extra reps, and you're already a seasoned pro by that point. So you'll be able to go up and hopefully succeed at that next level.
Yeah, exactly. Getting the groundwork done. So as you climb to the top, you got a good base to go off of.
Yeah, exactly. It's all you can do. But you scored two goals throughout your time in Blue Ridge so far. It's like what was it like getting your first pro goal out of the way?
Pretty good. It was basically just a random shot. So can't complain about that though. I'll take them all. Yeah, I'm kind of like no like when I play defense, I'm known as like a defensive defenseman. Um, and when I'm forward, like it's completely different. Like I'm like a cat out of the cage. So I've really done well. Like in senior, I really not like being able to trust anybody. I really developed like been able to mesh the two, like as a
Yeah.
forward and a defenseman. I've never really done that. So I was able to lead a lot of rushes more often and pinch a lot more, and like I know what to look for now, just playing both positions. So yeah, getting a goal off the back, that was sweet. And it's fun, kind of funny. Like I scored the one goal against Carolina, and then even like the game, like near the end of the season, I was getting like lots of opportunities. Coaches like he really like turned into quite the shooter. I'm like, there's never a shot that like I just pass up. Like most of them are just from the blue line,
Yeah.
and I'm always like the third, fourth man in like on rushes, which my coach doesn't like because like me and like there's a whole drama thing with me and Clean always pinching and being too low. But yeah, I'm always up there. Whether or not the forwards pass it to me is on them, really. Like I'm always put myself in the right position. It's just whether or not they decide to use me. And it seemed near the end of the season they started to use me. So that's how I got my second goal. And I was getting like I think maybe like a lot of more opportunities near the end. So it was better to see that.
Yeah, and that all comes with confidence too when you're able to go into the rush, when you're able to pinch and just go on that rush after you pinch and all that. Like it just builds with confidence, and once you're able to do that, like that's when you feel a lot more free in your game, and you're able to do what you want to a degree.
Yeah, I think our coach, well, I think I was maybe a little too confident sometimes. But whatever, yeah, maybe, yeah. So our coach kind of like would harp on us all the time to try and get us to think a little more. Like, hey, maybe I shouldn't go here, but I don't know. It's just I'm all go like go
Yeah,
all in. So that never really, I don't know, it doesn't really work for me if I have to think about it. I just rather be there because there's a split second where I could be missing the puck or missing the man.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. You just gotta live and learn, like we've been saying, and just go with the flow of what the game brings.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but Whitfield's a cool little town. It's like, what's some of like your favorite things to do in Whitfield there?
Hmm. That's a great question. We spent a lot of time at Seven Sisters Brewery. That was a high.
I've heard that place is pretty good, pretty
Yeah,
rowdy.
yeah, it's a good. Well, I guess it's a brewery, but yeah, they took care of us there. What else was good? Um, uh, Maybe I guess Walmart. Me and Clino's weekly Walmart trips. Those were fun. It's just not another Walmart, but whatever. What's that one place called? It's a gas station. They have
Cheats?
everything in there. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. They don't have those in Canada, but it's kind of funny
Oh,
whenever I go to like Pennsylvania for like dirt bike races or whatever, I'd always see them and like they always advertise like down there. Like, oh, that must be a southern thing. And then yeah, it seems like it, but it's so cool. Like they're open all night and they have the best milkshakes, so I'd frequently stop in there.
yeah. I just hopped on the Sheets train last week, and I can say it's all good stuff, and I'm gonna have to try the milkshakes the next time that I go because I have not tried that.
Yeah, they're so good. I get them after not every game, but most games, like when I want to like just reward myself, I guess. And actually, funny enough, this is where I don't know, my camera's a little foggy right now, but I got this hat, it says Beer Me. I was gonna buy it for Clino because he was with me after the one game, and then there was a bunch of boosters in there, and they saw that I had it in my hand, so they ended up buying it for me. I don't think I put that in a
That's sick.
video, but I had the clip from it. It was like maybe 3 seconds, so that's probably why I didn't put in. But yeah, shout
Yeah,
out the
that's
boosters.
sick though that the boosters bought that for you. Like,
Mhm.
s- it shows how grateful and how like how good the boosters are over there as well.
Yep, they're real cool down here. Very
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun though. But you're also known as Big Cat throughout the YouTube industry, and so like what came along with your nickname Big Cat? And like I know you stream now, so like what's then that like?
It's been fun. I love streaming. The big cat kind of came around in university. Like we'd always like compete to be the big cat type thing. Who could get the most kitties? So eventually, I just kind of like it was close for a while, but then I just ended up running away with it. So I kind of took that name over. And then yeah, like I made it my brand. Like when I first started YouTube, it was always like all my usernames were always jslegers12. But if I would say that like I kind of was thinking about like branding purposes. Like if I would say that to you, like you wouldn't know how to spell it unless like you had my name out in front of you.
Yeah,
So then I started changing everything, and then that's when Big Cat Five just it's just a lot easier to say, a lot easier to look up. So that became my new username for most of my social media sites. So yeah, yeah,
yeah. Now it's stuck for the Big Cat.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of funny, like coming into like a team where it's called the Bobcats. It kind of, I don't know, kind of correlates a little bit. So that's kind of funny how that worked out.
Yeah, how was it making videos in Blue Ridge and just with the guys and everything?
It was good. I think I actually said this in my last video, but like it's always weird, like getting thrown into like a new space, I guess, where there's new
Yeah,
people around you. Like, because I like, it's not like I'm like worried about like who I record, but like some people obviously like love it. Like Kalina loved it. Q he loved it. Um, so like developing those relationships, like who you can rely on, and some people kind of are just uncomfortable on camera, so you just kind of stay away from them and whatnot. So learning how to do like what kind of characters you can use is was a big part of it, really. So.
yeah. It's the same thing with the podcast too. Like wherever I go, like I know some people don't like the media stuff and some people do. So it's like you just got to play with it and just balance and see. when if people are comfortable with it and like when you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes I just don't care. Like I like
Yeah.
maybe like it's an important event and like maybe someone has to be like someone that doesn't like well, I don't there's never like a situation where like someone's like, oh, don't put me in the video or anything, but like um yeah, just try to keep it with the people I could trust basically because I don't want to cause any problems.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be even keel and not push any buttons.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, but I have a few more questions before we wrap this episode up. I'm going from the Instagram Q&A. So the first question is favorite billet fan.
Who? Billet fan?
Yeah, who's been your favorite billet family?
Hmm. That's, I don't have like a favorite one. I got like stories from each. Like I remember my last one there, they were in Waterloo, but for the Elmira, I really want to stay in Waterloo because it was like a big city and
Yeah,
it was fun there. But yeah, I was their first billet child, and that's when I won like a whole league and everything. So it was a pretty good year for us and them. Like, and that was a pretty sweet house. And then probably also Denise, my first ever billet in St. Thomas. She was sweet. She always let me use her car because at that time I couldn't drive. So she let me use her car to go to the gym and all that. And there's some drama at the end with an ex-girlfriend of ours, and she kind of stood up for me. So appreciate that big time. And yeah, she used to have a truck stop. That's actually, if you look at my YouTube, it's the banner. It says Slegers for fan favorites. So
yeah, yeah,
she made that. So that's been there forever. And yeah, I was yeah grateful for that.
yeah. That's at least good, and like you get good stories out of all that too. So like there's nothing
Mhm.
better than the stories that come out of it. Just like the road trips and everything. Like the stories are endless.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So
Yeah. And then the next question is can you chicken dance? Like are you good at the chicken dance?
no, there's they're probably talking about that one video, but yeah, I had no idea what I was doing, so I was trying to follow everyone else. Yeah, I wasn't too good at that, and then I was trying to do the whatever the whip and the nay nay. The kids loved it. Like I was like they said that I was the only one dancing, and the other two there was Milan and Clino. They were kind of hiding behind the curtain for most of the time. But then there at the very start, like we were the first three guys like up row, so we had to dance. And then when it was the whole group thing, they kind of hood, and I was just out there by myself. So
Yeah. You just gotta make the kids laugh however you can.
yeah, exactly. They loved it though, so
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Yeah, so that's all that matters. And then the next one is what's your favorite food?
Hmm, that is a good question. I guess steak. I guess. If I
There
could
you
get
go.
good steak, that's probably tops everything.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good steak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then the last one is what song are you listening to when right before you go on the ice?
I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like I just kind of listen to whatever, but like I got into this thing because I sat beside Kalina the whole time and we were pretty tight. Like I just like randomly show him my music when I was like I had my AirPods in, and like he like knew like one of it every 10 songs. So he'd just be like, "Oh, I don't know that one." He's like, "Oh, I know this one." Like if it was like a Rihanna song. But like I'd always just skip those. I don't know, probably any like punk rock song, I guess. Kenny
Yeah,
Hoopla and MGK maybe.
can't go wrong with any of those songs and whatever gets you the juices flowing before a game, like that's what you got to go with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think that's a great way to end this episode. So Slegs, thank you again for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time. Want to wish you the best of luck going forward with your seat with your career.
Thank you, you too. Appreciate you having me on. This was fun. So
Yeah,
good luck to
absolutely.
you with this and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.